Hello everybody, I'm back to interact with all of you on the live Facebook page of News9, and for those who do not know who I am, I'm Neha and I've chosen today's topic. Today's topic that we will be discussing on is that COVID-19 threat is far from being over. Remember, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had said that there will be a spike in COVID-19 cases in the month of June or July. Well, a similar claim has now been made by the director of AIIMS. In today's special session, we're going to talk just about that. So what is it that the AIIMS directors say about the COVID-19 peak? COVID-19 confirmed cases in India, do remember, have already surged past 50,000. Given the seriousness of the situation, lockdown already has been extended twice. Lockdown was announced by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the 25th of March for the very first time, and eventually it was extended on the 14th of March, and another extension was announced on just before, in fact, the 3rd of May. So Maharashtra, as of now, continues to remain the worst affected with close to 18,000 confirmed cases. The AIIMS director, Dr. Randeep, has some bad news in store for all countrymen. With COVID-19 vaccine a distant dream, the AIIMS director has said cases could surge in June or July. Dr. Randeep has said that the pandemic in India is not on its peak yet. The AIIMS director cited modeling data to back his claims. He said that the cases could surge in the month of June or July. The doctor also said that lockdown is also one of the variables which will have an impact. He says, and I quote, that if we take today's data into consideration, it does appear that the cases will rise in June or July. So do remember, as I was saying, that the lockdown already has been extended twice, and I continued to see that several people were venturing out unnecessarily, undermining the threat that COVID-19 poses. When we say that it is extremely important to break the chain of coronavirus, for that we do not need to do something special. All we need to do is to make sure that we are taking all the precautionary measure, and we are also staying inside our houses and not stepping out unnecessarily. The AIIMS director also said that COVID-19 positive rate stands between 4% and 4.5%. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi had also hinted at the spike in number of cases in the month of June to July. So here let's now discuss about COVID-19 doubling rate has worsened to 10.2 days. One of the reasons why India is reporting a steep increase in cases is the fact, as I've already mentioned, that many of our states are worst affected due to the pandemic. Maharashtra, let's talk about Maharashtra. Of course, the cases have increased significantly in Gujarat as well, Delhi and Tamil Nadu. These are some of the states which have reported the highest number of COVID-19 positive cases. So India's doubling rate has become 10.2 in just 7 days compared to earlier figure which stands at 12 days. The silver lining, of course, is improving recovery rate, which stands at 28.83%, which is considerably a good figure, if you ask me, compared to other countries or any of the experts for that matter. However, the fatality rate in the country stands at 3.3%, which is seemingly low as well. So the active cases are also rising at 6.6 figures. Let's now talk about the figures during the lockdown period. So India had reported just 600 cases and 13 deaths when lockdown was announced for the very first time. COVID-19 figures in India now stand at over 56,000. The number of deaths has surpassed 1,800 mark. The state of Kerala has reported the highest recovery and lowest mortality rate. Let me just stress on this that in fact, state of Kerala has reported the highest recovery and lowest mortality rate. So which means that Kerala somewhere also becomes a model for several countries, not only India but for many other countries perhaps to follow. Sikkim, also talking about Sikkim, it is the only state in India to report 0 positive cases so far. So these are some of the figures that were extremely important for us to share with all of our viewers, with all of those who have been wondering where exactly does the country stand when it comes to COVID-19. So the numbers, we've already crossed 50,000 mark. The active cases stand at 37,916. 16,539 people have been discharged. 1,886 people have succumbed to COVID-19. Do remember that the situation in many parts of the country is also worsening with each passing day. US continues to remain the worst affected. So I'm just quickly going to take a few questions here that I've got. So Tej by Bharwad, if that's how you pronounce it. He says, hi, so hi. And I have Mariam who says, hi, please let me know what to do for people not getting their salary. So yeah, it's very unfortunate to say the least, given the fact that this was something that I've been continuously saying, absolutely not anticipated at all. The epicenter is China, but more or less the virus has been contained in the country and seems to be spreading like a wildfire in the rest of the countries. So right now, of course, I'm completely aware of the fact that there are several people who have been badly affected due to COVID-19. There are many employers who have decided to in fact fire the employees, given the fact that economy also is in shambles. But what we can do at this point of time is that only hope that the situation gets better and India's economy also in fact recovers. Of course, there have been certain measures that have been taken by the central government, for example announcing relaxations in the areas where not many COVID-19 cases have been reported, for that matter the green zones as well as the orange zones. Of course, these restrictions continue in the red zones, given the fact that there have been several positive cases in those areas. So whenever we have been continuously seeing that people, yes, of course, there have been certain relaxations that have been given in the green as well as in the orange zone, but that does not mean that the COVID-19 threat has subsided. It has not subsided at all. The people continue to come out in large numbers, not wearing masks, not taking any preventive measure for that matter. Please understand that there are people who are losing their lives every passing day. The death toll in India has already crossed 1,800 mark. Do understand the seriousness of the situation. This virus is not going to leave anyone if we do not follow the necessary precautions set by the health experts. Do think about the frontline warriors, especially the doctors. Many doctors, in fact, have not met their families in a very, very long time. They've been working round the clock. The cops also, a big salute to the frontline warriors. They've been working round the clock to ensure our safety, trying to make people understand that it's absolutely very important for them to stay inside their houses. For those who are wondering that why is it that how will we make our ends meet, how will we provide square meal to our family members? So there have been several announcements made by the state government as well as the central government. They promise to look after in fact each and every aspect of the people who have been badly hit due to COVID-19. So let's hope that there will be some sort of relief that we will get to see coming in from the central government. Meanwhile, B.S. Yediyurappa, the Karnataka chief minister, has already announced a few in fact COVID-19 relief packages for especially for the farmers, since they seem to be worst affected due to the COVID-19. Many farmers in Karnataka or in rest of the country as well were seen disposing their produce since they could not transport it, or either this was the case or they did not get a really good price for their produce. So here, what is the latest details of containment zone in Bangalore? So there's really nothing new, Arun, if you ask me. So the old one exactly there. So there are three, in fact, zones in which the entire Karnataka is right now is witnessing. There is red zone, then there is green zone, and there is orange zone. There have been certain relaxations given in green zone as well as the orange zone, but Bengaluru urban in particular seems to be the worst affected due to COVID-19. So the restrictions continue. So of course, this is more or less all that I had for you to share, given the fact that I have time limit as well. My director just says that I have to wrap now. I hope that this was a very informative session for all of you. Do remember to subscribe News9 YouTube, like us on Instagram. Do check out our Instagram page. You can also follow us on Twitter as well as Facebook. Thank you very much for watching.